Hey guys, welcome back to another RSK programming tutorial. Well, not tutorial, but in this video I'm going to be talking about one of my other projects called Native, which is a CSS framework which allows you to build apps on the web which look exactly like those on iOS. So Native is super simple to import. I'm just going to give you an example. Let's say we have a pre-existing website, so we have an index.html. All we have to do is follow these instructions. You can import the style sheet, this file over here, simply download it or just copy it. I think I'll just copy it since I don't think GitHub actually lets you just download files. Okay, for some reason it's slow. Okay, so yeah, let's just copy it, click on this button. And you can see the file is actually only 291 lines, so it's not actually that big. But it's got a lot of stuff which you would need to make it look like an iOS app. And then you're also going to need to bring in the native JavaScript just to do some simple things. It's really simple. This is compiled TypeScript, which is why it's got all of this complicated stuff going on. But the actual complex stuff is, you can see there's a load duck mode. And okay, this is really laggy for some reason. I'm going to see if I can. Yeah, I don't know why this is actually so laggy, but that's fine. Just gonna copy this. Oh. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on. Why is it so slow? Okay, there we go. And all we do is just paste that into there. And now you can see all I have to do is add in the native script and add in the native CSS using these links. Okay. So let me show you an example of how we can use native. Let's say I want to implement a table view. So here, down here, there's a preview, and you can see side by side native versus a native iOS app, and try and guess which one it is. I'm actually not sure right now, but you can see how similar they look. Obviously there's slight differences, but those can easily be fixed. And yeah, this is how it's meant to look. And after this I'll show you an example of an actual app I've built which uses native. But first, let's show you guys. So this is just the base HTML. You can add it to any project, and if you want to add a table view, it still uses the basic div structures. So it is a CSS framework, which means all it's really doing is applying styles to the divs, which make it look a specific way. As you can see, we can create table views and then create sections within them, and then headers and divs just represents elements inside of the table view. And within this div you can add your own classes and customize the row however you want. But you can see this is what we got so far. It looks a bit weird because it's not actually in full, like it's a full screen table view, which wouldn't usually happen. But we can add the other things. For example, if you want to make this look like an actual page, let's say we add a navigation bar at the top. Now you can see it's got a navigation bar, and I actually need to put the content inside of a main div, like here, so it doesn't just cut it off. Alright, and yeah, there we go. We've managed to implement a simple page, welcome to native, with a navigation bar and title. Should probably change this background color to be the group table view color, which you can see we have all the colors over here. And this was really heavily inspired by iOS, as you can probably tell. There's an easy way of adding a tab bar. So let's just say I want to implement, okay, so we can add our tab bar here, and then we're also going to need a script. Initialize the tab bar using a tab bar config, these files don't actually exist, so we'd have to add them into the thing, into the source folder. But let's just assume they did exist. They'd redirect to this path, and then for each page we can just add this tab bar config and init tab bar. And now you can see we've got a tab bar like this. So it says cannot get because it's just an image view, but it's not actually able to get the book.svg because there's no book.svg file. But let's just say I was on pencil, went over to here, and it's redirected us to pencil.html, as you can see here. So this is just a simple tab bar implementation, really simple to add a tab bar to all your pages now. Just add these two lines, and yeah, that's basically it. Another really interesting feature is the dark mode. So what this does is essentially just flips around all of the styles and colors in here. So these are all in light mode, but then dark mode, you'll see actually just here, it's just changing around the CSS variables colors. And then another super cool feature is that it makes it easy to convert apps to PWAs, which is basically just a PWA is like it's a web app, except it feels like a real app to the user because you can add it to the home screen and do things like that. So it's called a progressive web app for a reason. It's seen as the next development in web technology, and it's really good because it means you can develop on the web and then just add it to iOS really simply. You can see it's only a few steps: add a manifest, add these tags, and these are really just styling tabs to make your app feel like a real native app, and then you'll be fine. So yeah, that was the basic framework. If you're interested, I'll leave a link to this in the description. And I want to show you guys an app which I've developed using this. So the app is called Taskly. It's basically a task management app which makes it fun to actually complete your task. But yeah, here's the URL, hosted on GitHub Pages. And I haven't actually done anything on this instance of the app, but you can see already how on an actual iOS device this looks really similar to an actual app. And what I can do is add this to the home screen. This is how you implement PWAs. If you actually did this on a real device, you'd get the icon here, but for some reason it doesn't work on a simulator, so I guess we'll have to be fine without one. You can see here, this is the icon I was talking about. It's managed to implement one. Managed to get that there. But yeah, you can see this is what the app looks like when you're actually in full screen, and you can see it's just like, it just feels like a real app. Like all of these tab bar icons, they behave just like a real icon would. The UI looks exactly like what would be developed on actual iOS. There's a bit of discrepancies here, like there's a bit of tab spacing mismatching, but that's my fault. This app is still in development, and if I try and add a task, you'll see it brings me over to this, which is pretty nice. These sliders look just like iOS, and the overall tab bar table view feel is just like iOS. This is actually a native iOS component, which is why it looks like that. But yeah, that is the idea. It's just a simple CSS framework which allows you to create web apps which look exactly like a native iOS app. So yeah, thanks for watching, and that was Native, my CSS framework. See you guys in a future tutorial. Bye.